All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Soul Commodore here once again, and we've got kind of a weird setup today because we're going to be doing an art chat, basically talking about a new idea for a new show that I have, which we'll expound upon in another art chat. Like once we get back from Panama, this is going to be like a really quick stream, like just like an hour or so. Just kind of discussing like broad strokes what the concept of this new show that I have in my cooking in my head is. But like I said, it's going to be really broad, just kind of like brainstorming stuff and looking at some photos from the most recent show that I have, The Quiet Part Out Loud. That's going to be kind of like the jumping off point into this new show. I'm giving some history as to like how I got the concept that I did. But yeah, this is gonna be a quick stream, like an hour. Because I've still got to do some packing for Panama and go running around and getting some last minute things because that's what happens when you're traveling. You don't really get stuff ready early enough. You never do. At least I never do. But yeah, this is gonna be a weird setup. I'm gonna try to remember to face forward because the only way that I could get the photo app on my computer to actually display on stream, which will be in the next scene, is by like having my dual setup, my two screens. So OBS is actually running on my big screen, and my actual laptop that I'm looking at right now actually has the photo display. So I have to. I know there's a way to fix that, and I'll do that later. But basically, for now, this is how we're running. So I'm gonna try to remember to look this way and not at my OBS. Which is gonna be tough because I mean this is where the chat is, right? But I mean we'll figure that out. It's fine. But yeah, so a little bit of history. So right now I have a show up at the Station Gallery in Whitby. The Quiet Part Out Loud, and that show is all about grief and different stages of grief, different types of grief, different ways grief manifests. One is isolation within the familiar. I've gone over this before. Isolation within the familiar, isolation within familiar spaces, feeling very much like you're all alone even when you're doing the stuff that you do every day, whether it's going to work or like driving in traffic or sitting at home watching TV. When you're grieving, whatever it is that you are grieving, when you're grieving, you feel like you're grieving alone, and you feel very isolated in that act. And then I also talked about how grief affects memory through, I mean, a lot of the photos that we're going to look at today are part of that set of the show. How grief affects memory through the lens of actual photos, and how they distort and how they get altered by grief. And then the third is the idea that basically the different is more abstract, but the physical manifestations that grief can take, basically abstract expressions of how grief feels. I get out of here. Sorry, outdated convict. I don't need any promotions. Actually, let me take care of that right now. Yeah, that's fine. There we go. All right. So sorry, just had to take care of that bot real quick. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm going over today. Or no, that's not what I'm going over today. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, the third set of images that I did for this show were the physical manifestations of grief, abstract expressions of physical manifestations of grief, and how grief makes us feel, sort of like visual representations of that. So it's a very personal project. A lot of it came from my own emotions, my own feelings, and I mean all of my work does. But like these works here, for instance, right? Like that I did for the tracking series. Um, they're obviously personal because there's a lot of me in there, but it's not as personal concept. Like I'm the concept that I had for that show, like I'm within that concept, but it's more global, right? And grief is global, but a lot of the works came from myself. It was very, very personal. Um, and I kind of like the way that everything turned out with the show. Um, so I kind of want to take that and kind of run with it. Now, I did say that once the show started, that I wasn't going to be doing any sort of drawing or painting for like a month or so. And that is true. I haven't really put anything to paper. But the old mind keeps ticking, you know. This thing doesn't stop. Sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. But I remember about 2 weeks after the show opened, I was just having my headphones in. I was listening to Kendrick Lamar's new album again, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, and the penultimate song on that album, Mother I Sober. The chorus is sung by Beth Gibbons of Portishead, and the chorus is, "I wish I was somebody, anybody but myself." And the song is a very, very, very personal, very raw look at Kendrick Lamar's life and some of the stuff that he's gone through over the course of his life, and that he continues to struggle with, even as an adult. And it's not the first song of his where he's done that. A lot of his songs are like that. I mean, shit, Good Kid, Mad City was basically an entire album of that, like just his real life put on wax. And I thought to myself, those lyrics, "I wish I was somebody, anybody but myself," it's something that I can kind of relate to, like that feeling. I'm sure a lot of us can relate to it, but like, I'm very happy with who I am now, but sometimes I still feel like kind of out of place. I've never really felt completely like I fit in, like I've got a strong footing anywhere, right? Especially around new people, kind of feeling out social situations. I was a pretty socially awkward kid, but that was more so due to the fact that I was shy, you know, um, and a little bit anxious around people. I was the kid who always talked to the adults on the playground, like the teachers that were monitoring the playground, more so than the kids, especially when I was young, like real young. And I mean, for the longest time, my biggest fear in the world was disappointing people. So I would never say no to anything, right? Even stuff that I really didn't want to do. Thankfully, I've kind of gotten out of that. Like, as an adult, you realize that there's stuff that you just have to do, that you don't want to do. But I've been more willing to say no to things that I don't want to do. But it's one of those things where I'm thinking that would really translate, that concept would translate really well to a show. And the trick is obviously to make it universal as well as personal, right? But the whole idea of, "I wish I was somebody, anybody but myself," and exploring, like, would I actually feel comfortable in another person's skin and not my own, like, or is it me, that's the problem. Like that Taylor Swift song. But yeah, it's one of those things where, like, growing up, I always felt like I was like lagging behind people. And of course, like, you should never, like, comparison is the thief of joy, right? Like, you should never, or you should try to not, like, compare yourself to other people and their milestones and their because I mean, things will happen on your own time, right? But like, seeing all your friends get into relationships, and then some of them get out of relationships and then get back into relationships, like multiple relationships, while you can't work up the nerve to actually ask somebody out. Um, seeing friends get married. Now, I mean, I'm part of that group now. Like we're getting married in July, but seeing friends get married and some of them have kids and some of them like get careers, get their careers established and um, like just as a rundown, like I've always felt like I was kind of like lagging behind everyone else. Like I didn't get my driver's license till I was 24. I didn't graduate university till I was 24 because I did my 4 years and didn't have enough credits to graduate. So I took like a year off to work and then decided to actually get the rest of the credits online afterwards. Um, but I didn't get to graduate with any of my friends from university. Some of whom have some of their pictures in the show. I didn't get to graduate with them. I didn't actually end up getting my girlfriend, who is now my fiance. She's my first girlfriend. Well, unless you count like the girlfriend I had in kindergarten or like grade 1, which I don't. I mean, shit. This is technically my second marriage because I got married to my girlfriend in grade 1, and then we got annulled. We got it annulled because she fell in love with another guy in our grade. But I mean, I was 6, 7 years old, so it didn't matter. But my didn't have my first kiss till I was 27. My girlfriend, like, we didn't start dating till I was 27. I it's one of those things where I was a late bloomer, basically. And there's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes it can kind of feel like there is something wrong with you and that something needs to be corrected, because like, why do I always feel like I'm falling behind? Why do I feel like I've never really fit in, and part of that too goes into the racial aspect, because when I was in elementary and high school, I did very, very well in terms of my grades. Didn't do so well in university, but that's a story for another time. But there were multiple people on both sides of the spectrum that kind of either directly said or inferred, or implied, I should say. They implied that I wouldn't amount to anything because of my complexion and because of where I was raised. I was raised in the east side of Chatham, Ontario. We weren't like deep in the east side, but it's sort of seen as like a rougher area of the city, and it is a rougher area of the city. And there's a lot of people in Chatham that kind of look down on that area, which is not, in my opinion, isn't warranted. Those are all people, You shouldn't look down on somebody because of their like socioeconomic standing or what have you. But it's sort of like you got hit on both ends, because there's this concept of there's like the bigotry of low expectations, basically. That's not the exact name for it, but it's escaping me now. But there were a lot of people who were surprised that I did so well, given where I was raised and partially my complexion, right? They were surprised I did so well in school. And there were some who bristled against that and said, like, I'll never amount to anything because of where I grew up, My dad faced the same thing when we actually moved. Like, when he moved out of his neighborhood, we like lived in a couple of townhouses all over the town. Like, well, townhouses, they're apartments basically, and they're not like, when you think townhouse now, they weren't that. They were apartments, but they were in different areas of the city, and some people who knew my dad were friends, even some family members were like, "Oh, you think you're too good for us now because you moved to these different areas, right?" And which is absolutely ridiculous. And then, like, yeah, I've been told that I won't amount to anything, or that I'm forgetting who I am, that I'm not real, because I did well in school, and I when I was This is so stupid. When I was in elementary school, like I didn't listen to rap, and there was someone who said like, "Oh, you ain't really black because you don't listen to rap." I listen to rap now, but I mean, it's not that's not what defines me as a black person. Uh, whether or not I listen to rap, um, which is especially silly because I listened to like classic R&B and soul and funk, and it's like, I mean, that's very much black music. um, but that kind of crisis of identity as well, and kind of navigating that. Um, and then you go off to university and you get an education and everything, and like there's a lot of people who are obviously happy for you, but you know how the human mind works. You never, you very rarely just remember the good things that people say, right? You very much latch on to the negative things that people say, you know. And I'm no different. My brain works the exact same way. Um, you know, it's much easier to remember the things that people say to you. You know, like I had a teammate once. I was in high school. We were playing basketball in gym class, and a teammate of mine who it was funny because he's a lighter complexion than me. And again, that doesn't matter. But he's black and he's a lighter complexion than me. And he said that I wasn't really black because I'm not good at basketball. And it's like, what are you talking about? Um, so, you know, that causes a crisis of identity as well. And I think that's what this show, which I'm going to title Anybody But Myself, as you can see in the title of the stream. I guess it's down here, isn't it? um, that'll be the main concept of is the crisis of identity and not knowing who you are or how you fit in, and how even if you fake it till you make it, like that imposter syndrome, that feeling that you're not really, like, am I authentic? Am I really who I am? Like, who am I? You know, that it doesn't always go away, and you still struggle with it. So, yeah, I don't think it's not going to be as somber a subject as grief, obviously, but crisis of identity, I think, is what the main theme of this new show is going to be. Which, I mean, that'll really rock the identity politics people to the core. Except it's not really identity politics. Um, it's not really identity politics, in my opinion, because that's more like, you know, defining who you are through like different factions of your identity, like race or religion or culture or creed or what have you. You know, this is more like trying to figure out who you are and how that gets challenged. So I'm going to switch over to this screen here, the art tour screen, to look at some images that kind of suggest like the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. Because I mean, these are only select images, but these are all from these are all select pieces from The Quiet Part Out Loud, that I think at least the vibe of them would transfer well to this new idea for the show. So we have this piece here, entitled Drag, and that is me with my face obviously distorted and dragged out. Like you could see, obviously that's my hair, and then my face gets dragged down. Like that's actually the bottom of my nose and like the beginning of my mouth, you know, and then like my jawline and then my neck and all that kind of stuff. But it's all distorted. And through the stuff that I was talking about, you kind of like have a distorted idea of yourself. You know, so I think trying to explore this like going forward, I think that's a direction that this will go. And not saying that these images will be exactly this, right? It won't be exactly this. Like there'll be different forms and different subjects. I mean, and different mediums. Like I don't know if this new show will be like. I might even play with some photography, or like, you know, might do more oil work as opposed to acrylic. But it's going to be the same kind of idea, I think. I don't think it'll be nearly as many pieces as The Quiet Part Out Loud, because that's like over 120 pieces total. probably more than 130. But it's going to, I think it's going to be more compact, but it's going to, oh, excuse me. It's going to be that, right? That concept. So now that's this is another one where this is me and two of my friends on the outside here, and then my girlfriend standing next to me. But yeah, just more distortion of the self. And but this time it'll be, instead of through the lens of grief, which is what these images are, seen through the lens of grief. These ones will be more through the lens of loss of identity, questioning of identity, trying to find a sense of self that may not be self-evident. That's the whole idea, basically. Yeah, these are like some just some images that might like instruct where that show is gonna go. Yeah. What's the next one? Oh, here's another one where like these are two of the aforementioned university friends that I was talking about earlier that I didn't get to graduate with because they graduated in 2012 and I didn't graduate till 2014. But that's me, very much blurred and distorted. So I think a good idea, a good concept for this show, like one image that pops in my head is like just like whether it's me or someone else, like you're just in a room full of like actual like rendered figures. They're fully detailed, they're fully formed, and then you just have some people who are like blurry or distorted, and I think that might make up like a good portion of the show. I think that'd be really fun to work with, like some big paintings again, like maybe 3x3, like this one, where that's basically the whole. It won't be the whole show because I'm probably going to do some charcoal works as well, and again maybe mess with some like photography and photo manipulation, but yeah, just kind of blurring people and distorting them and making them like here's someone who's not completely comfortable with themselves, or like yeah, just messing with them in some way, shape, or form. I think that would end up looking really, really good. I think, personally, I just kind of have to synthesize how I want that to look, and how that's gonna work. Yeah. I've still got some thinking to do on that. still got some things to figure out, but like this is very, very rudimentary, and yeah. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah, this is me and my family. That's me right there. Older brother, younger brother, sister, younger sister. So, but like, for instance, with this picture, like I might render out these people, like the other people in the figures, and then keep myself blurred, right? Or semi-blurred or distorted in some way. Like it's oh, excuse me. I clearly didn't get enough sleep last night. Well, no, I didn't, because it's daylight savings. Ugh. I wish they'd do away with that. Losing an hour of sleep just because, is ridiculous. We don't need it anymore. Anyway. But yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna go with this new show. Which again, the title will be Anybody But Myself. Which has multiple levels, because I think I'm gonna do more like where I'm going to like maybe I'll even like take some pictures. Hey, Angel, welcome in. How are you? Yeah. I was at the gym last night, running on the treadmill. Yeah, just running on the treadmill, and I was like, okay, it's like 1:59, so I'll get home by like 3:30. Because I got like another half hour on the treadmill, and then I'll do like a weight workout after that, and I'll get home by 3:30. And then watching the time click over from 1:59 to 3 a.m., I was like, oh, that's right. Ah, thank you, Angel. I'm glad you think so. Yeah, it's the I don't know if you were here for the earlier explanation of the of this new show that I'm putting together, this new exhibition. But if you were, cool. If not, I can go over it quickly again, uh, to sort of catch you up. It was very annoying. It was very annoying because I had to cut my workout short because I was like, I really don't want to be at the gym until like 5 in the morning. So, oh, got here around 15 minutes ago. Cool, cool, cool. So, yeah, very briefly, the idea of this show is like questioning of identity, questioning of self. Um, I mean, and it's from Kendrick Lamar's song, um, Mother I Sober, in which the chorus is, I wish I was somebody, anybody but myself, and not feeling like you fit in, like, and having your identity questioned as well as questioning your own, like as you move through life. Um, yeah, so that's one idea of like having other figures solid, and then yours is completely like blurry. I think another thing would be cool is like actually like getting some people together who agree to it, obviously, and I'll have to like figure out like waivers and stuff to like let people like want to have their image used. Um, but like actually like staging pictures and then like doing photo manipulation or like actually painting on the photo or like working from that photo, right? Because printing out photos can be expensive, but like painting from that photo and then like distorting people from that, I think that would be interesting too. Like actually staging photos so that I don't have to use like stock images and I don't have to like make up people off the top of my head. Um, because I still need more practice doing that. Um, yeah. But Angel, how are you doing? How are you doing? Um, hope you're doing well. But yeah, that's the idea for this new show is basically surrounding identity and how we question identity and how we feel like we're out of sorts, like we're out of place, like we shouldn't be where we are. Um, an idea just popped in my head where like you're in a group of people and instead of like someone being blurry, they're like hovering off the ground, you know, like just because they're out of place, they're not where they should be, you know, or they're like phasing through a wall. I'm all right. This topic is right on par with how I'm feeling lately. Well, I'm sorry you're feeling that way. But if it's any consolation, like there's a lot of us that feel that way. Like I'm the same. I'm the same. Um, like for the first time in my life, like I'm pretty thoroughly okay with who I am. Um, but all that stuff is still within me. Um, where you kind of like, ooh, I just thought of like another concept that I could do with it is the fact that we are multiple people. Um, in terms of like who we like our true selves, and then the sides of ourselves that we show other people, right? Like code switching and the fact that like you'll talk to your friends differently than you talk to your grandparents and all that kind of stuff, and how that form might change, you know? Yeah, the multiplicity of man. Yeah, exactly. Um, so I might do something with that too. I should be writing all this down, but I'll remember it. Um, Need be, I'll just watch the stream back. It's like, what is it that I said that I want to do? Um, but yeah, I think that would be interesting. And then like maybe throw some more abstract stuff in there too, with like multiples of someone being in the same picture, you know, um, like a big mural type thing. Yeah, yeah, I've got some ideas. I've got some ideas for this thing. So yeah, I think that's where I want to go. That's the direction I want to go with this show. Um, what else do we got here? Oh, that's my older brother, all blurred out again. That's me missing from the like I completely just removed myself from this picture. And I don't want to like completely like just do the same thing as I did in the current show. Like I don't want to do the exact same things. I want to kind of like build on it or like do different things, but sort of like adjacent to what I did with the show in terms of like, you know, erasing yourself from the picture. Um, So I have to figure out something to do with that. Maybe I'll do like a slideshow too, maybe I'll write something and then like have my voice playing it, like have a playback, or maybe I'll shoot like a video. I don't know if it's me, but you buffered for a second. Yeah, it might be me. Um, it does say here that I dropped a couple of frames, so it might be me. But yeah, I gotta figure some stuff out, because I want to I think doing like a multimedia thing would be cool too, because the show that's on now is acrylic paintings, oil paintings, and charcoal drawings. So I think it'd be kind of cool if I did something with like obviously paintings and drawings, but like maybe an audio segment or a video segment too. I don't think I'm up for doing sculpture again. Because I did that in university and the project didn't go well. Like, basically, long story short, my first year at university, we had to. Is the show far out? Oh, we're in the very beginning stages of even just like coming up with a concept. Like I haven't applied for for this particular show that we're talking about. I haven't applied for a grant or anything. I haven't applied to galleries saying like, "Hey, here's an idea I have for a show." I mean, I still have tracking to get into a gallery, like the 20 so paintings that I have for this. This is just kind of brainstorming an idea that I have, because I want my work to kind of go in more of a personal direction, like it did with the current show, The Quiet Part Out Loud. So it's yeah. So there's no rush. Like I have all the time in the world to like kind of like figure everything out. But that's the fun part about brainstorming. I've never been barnstorming. I don't think I want to. I'm not a huge fan of planes. But yeah. So I want to try some like different like media things here. So maybe I'll do like a video. Oh right, I was talking about sculpture. So my first year of university, we had to do a whole bunch of different things. We had to do video, we had to do painting, drawing, all that kind of stuff, because it was an introductory course, and one of the things was sculpture. And we had to pair up, and we had to do a sculpture. And I don't remember the total concept of the thing, but I thought it would be cool to have like hands coming out of the wall, in sort of different sign language, like kind of spelling something out. I don't remember what it is that it's spelled out, but me and my partner, like, she really liked the idea, I really liked the idea, so we started going forward. And then, now keep in mind, this is like 2008. Yeah, like the fall of 2008. Or it might have been the spring of 2009. Either way, it was my first year of university. So I think Instagram was around, but it was in its infancy. Like social media culture as we know it now was still kind of in its infancy. Like Facebook had been around for a while, but not to the same extent that it is. Like it wasn't the behemoth that it is now. And for the best way I can put it is that my partner for that project, like we weren't even like a third of the way done with the project, and she decided to leave school to become an influencer, or what would be considered an influencer now, which yeah, the good old days, which yeah, wasn't great. So she kind of like left me out to dry with this project, and I had to finish it myself. And in all honesty, like, it didn't turn out great, but it still got the point across. And my teacher was actually pretty okay with it. Like she was giving me some praise with the painting, like during the class critique. And then the TA in the hey Chitanda, how you doing? The professor was giving a pretty fair and lenient critique, and actually said that she kind of liked it, which was the best thing she had ever said about anything I had done in that class. And then the TA came in and just started eviscerating it. And oh, I'm good, thanks. I'm good. I'm good. Just talking out a concept for a new art show, a new exhibition that I've got cooking in my mind. Um, Long story short, it's because I'm gonna do another one of these art chats about this show, like when we come back from Panama, um, on the because we're back the 21st. Like that week, I'm getting back to a regular stream schedule, so I'll go over all this again. But long story short, the new concept for this show that I have cooking in my head is basically the questioning of identity and like who you are, and trying to define who you are and feeling like you're not in place, you know, like you don't fit in and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the TA just came in and started eviscerating the sculpture, and then the professor changed her mind on how she felt about the sculpture. She all of a sudden she felt like it wasn't good anymore. It's like, okay, well, so that kind of turned me off on sculptural works. But who knows? Maybe I'll dive back in for this. Probably not, but who knows? Who knows what I'm gonna do? But I probably won't, because I've got absolutely nowhere to store a sculpture. Like, it's bad enough trying to figure out where to store all these paintings and drawings, let alone sculpture. A video would be easy, and an audio tape would be easy, because I mean, like, it's just an audio file and a videotape. Like, that's easy. That's really easy. But yeah. I wonder what I would do for a video, because I have a feeling I know what I'd say for the voiceover. It'd be a little bit more poetic, but it would basically touch on those concepts of like, maybe I'd go into like times in my life where I felt out of place, or maybe I'll interview people and ask about like where they felt out of place, you know? Maybe I'll do that. That would be kind of cool. And I'll give them all credit, like, too, on the piece. Yeah, I don't know. Imagine being an art student, chewing out the work of students. Hey, Squid. I mean, to be fair, like, I don't have a problem with critique at all. I don't even have a problem with like nasty. I mean, nasty critique is brutal, and a lot of times the critique was just her being brutal for the sake of being brutal, which I don't agree with. But I think it's good for an artistic practice to kind of like look at your stuff critically and have someone else look at your stuff critically and actually like tear down the stuff that's weakest in the piece, right? Like, I think that's actually pretty important. But it was the fact that like she had a favorable critique of my work, and then the TA came in and started just eviscerating it, which, fair play. And then she changed her mind, which it's fair to change your mind, but it was like really everything that you liked all of a sudden, like, you just don't like anymore, like in the span of 30 seconds. Okay. Yeah, I almost dropped out of the art program because of that. But thankfully my second year painting drawing teacher was really cool, really chill. If you want to look him up, his name is Kim Moody. KIMMOODIE. I like his work. The professor that I had in first year, like, that's the thing too. Like, I don't know if this is really immature of me, but I didn't jive with the professors in general. Like, I got along with I would say I got along with about half of them. The other half I didn't get along with, but, and I don't know if this makes any sense, but part of it is because, like, some of them, like, I just didn't respect their actual artwork, you know? Like, I didn't respect their actual output of work. Like, there are a couple of professors that I can think of off the bat. Now, the professor in first year, like, I did respect her work. She did very good work, because a lot of the professors were practicing artists themselves. The TA was a practicing artist, and I didn't like his work at all. His work was just stupid. I don't know. I didn't enjoy it. Perhaps she was just impressionable to others' opinions. I mean, yeah, that could very well be. And I mean, again, it was like looking back on it, I was more mad than I should have been. at her, because I mean she's fair to change her opinion. Um, like you can change your opinion for whatever you want, you know. It was just kind of like really, like I thought I was gonna get a good grade on this piece, but clearly I'm not going to. And also, like, part of me too is expecting to have a little bit more leniency, given the fact that like my sculpture partner basically quit school while we were working on the thing, so I had to do the bulk of it myself, like alone. Um, but that's neither here nor there. Is it art is magnifique? All student criticism should be constructive. Yeah, yeah. And most of the time her critiques were constructive, but sometimes, like in that case, it wasn't constructive at all. Um, a lot of it ended up just being like, you should have did this and that better. And it's like, well, I've never done a sculpture before, so I don't know. I don't know what you want me to do. But yeah, it's one of them things, you know. um, oh, and just in case, so the files that I have here, exactly, just laugh it off. So the files that I have here are all images of pieces from that show. Yeah, art teachers trauma dumping on students, exactly. But these are all like select pieces from the current show, The Quiet Part Out Loud, that I'm actually going to submit. I'm submitting a proposal to actually bring this show to one of the galleries in my hometown, to the Thames Art Gallery. So I had to put together a collection of images to actually send them, you know, because I do want to bring this show down. And actually, it's prescient that I landed on this picture, because that's a picture of my mom and dad. Like my dad can't come up here, like he's got peripheral vascular disease, so he can't make the trip up from like Chatham to here to see the show. So I want to bring the show to him, to the Thames Art Gallery. So I'm putting together a proposal to do that. Yeah, it's just a close-up look of some of the pieces in the show, in case you didn't catch the video that I put out, highlighting the pieces, like piece by piece. Which March 25th, once the show actually ends, that video, because right now it's an unlisted link, but it's on my Twitter. But that unlisted link will be going public, so it'll be publicly available if you go to my YouTube page. Right now it's unlisted just out of respect of, like, you know, the show is actually on. But once the show ends, I'll be making that link unlisted, or I'll be making that link public instead of unlisted. So you can go check it out anytime. Without the link, you can just go on my YouTube page. Yeah, I think that'd be good for him. And a lot of my family too is still in the Chatham area, and it's tough for them to make it up here just because of time, right? And responsibilities. So it'll be good because they'll have a chance to go see it as well. Yeah, this is just a few of the works that I selected to send to the Thames Art Gallery, which I should probably do that before we leave for Panama. Well, I mean, I'm leaving for Panama tomorrow, so I don't think I'll have a chance to do that before we leave, but unless I stay up all night to do that, but I don't really want to do that. So maybe I'll do it while I'm down in Panama, because I mean, the hotel will have Wi-Fi. Yeah. So my fiance does dragon boat racing and all that kind of stuff, and I think it's the Pan Am Championships that are going on in Panama. So we're flying down there because she's got some teams, because she's coaching, right? So she's got some teams in the competition. So yes, it is in Whitby, Ontario, Canada. Yes. Yeah. I haven't branched out and had a show in the States yet. Maybe one day. That's one that we did on stream. Same with that one. We didn't do this one on stream though. We did this one on stream, however. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It should be fun. It should be fun. I think it'll be a good time. Yeah, 3 of the 4 of those we did on stream actually. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Should be a fun time. Only a 31-hour drive. Oh no. Yeah, that's quite the ways. That's quite a ways to come. You know what's funny? This is the second piece where I've actually had someone falling out of the sky that shouldn't be there. The other one was a charcoal drawing. Oh yeah, we're flying to Panama, which I'm kind of nervous about because I've only been on one other plane. Well, I mean, technically 2 planes, like flying to the UK and back from the UK. But that was back in 2017. Yeah, that was quite a while ago. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm nervous. I know that planes are the safest mode of transportation, and I know all that. But there's part of me that kind of wants to just like conk out during the entirety of the flight so I don't have to deal with it. So maybe I will stay up all night and then sleep on the plane. Because I remember when I flew to Britain, I also fell asleep on the plane, and it wasn't a big issue. And like someone told me too, like we're not crossing any jet streams flying from Toronto to Panama, so like it shouldn't be a very bumpy ride. Because you're not really crossing any hemispheres or like jet streams or anything like that. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I think that's the last yeah, that's the last image in the group. Yeah. But yeah, so I want to use this these pieces as like a jumping off point to this new show, which is why I was like showing them, because I think that would be neat. I think that would be cool, to kind of like direct it the direction that I want the new exhibition to go. But yeah. I do apologize because this is going to be a short stream because we're going to wrap up in a couple minutes because I've got Panama things to prepare for. Like I still got to go get some stuff. Like I don't have a good pair of like walking shoes, and we're going to be doing a lot of walking around, so we got to do that. So yeah, I gotta go get some walking shoes and got to get some money out. But yeah, we'll get that together. We'll get that together. But yeah, like I said, when we get back from Panama, we'll go back to like a more regular stream schedule. During which I will like we're gonna come back to this concept, and we're gonna talk it through a little bit more. You know, that'll be one of the art streams when we come back, is talking through this a little bit more, kind of like nailing things down. It'll probably be the Thursday that we get back that I'll do that. Yeah, because that'll also be like the day before my show actually ends, so it'll be fitting because it'll be the closing of this show and then kind of opening up ideas for a new exhibition, like even more. Plus, I'll have like another week or so of like thinking on it and ruminating on it. So, yeah. So I want to thank y'all for. Oh no. Oh, Raven Rock, thank you for the raid. Ellipse, thank you for the raid. Thank you for coming in. How y'all doing? Golden Lover, thank you for the follow. Let me give a shout out to hold on. Shout out to Raven Rock. Raven promised me exposed forearms. Well, did you get exposed forearms? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you. Oh, you were playing Cult of the Lamb. I've heard good things about that game. Now you did? Oh, well, there you go. So for all you coming in, thank you for coming in. You're actually kind of catching us at the end of stream because I was saying I got to go prepare for some stuff for Panama. But yeah, how did the stream go? I hope it went well. But before we leave, because I can stay for another 5 minutes. I'll kind of go over what we were talking about today, really quick for y'all. Your forearms were just outside of frame. I see. Nice. Actually, speaking of, for some reason I wasn't following Raven Rock. That's kind of ridiculous. Raven disappointed you again? Oh man. Well, thank you all for coming in. I really do appreciate all y'all. So what we were talking about today is well, I can put the doc there. That's kind of cool. Except I don't think I want to do that. Don't mind me. I'm trying to redock my chat. There we go. Made some progress. Resurrected some dead people. Ooh, nice. Yeah, but let me let you all know what it is that we were talking about today. So I have a current show right now, a current art show. Current art show called The Quiet Part Out Loud, which is all about grief and the different manifestations of grief. Physical, the feeling of isolation, the way that grief messes with memory, which is this image that you're looking at right now is one of the pieces from that aspect of the show. It's basically a distorted image, and to me, like, photographs are some of the best ways to like recapture memories, and grief messes with your memory. So a lot of the drawings that I did are just basically distorted pictures. So I kind of want to jump off of that. In keeping in a personal light, I was listening to Kendrick Lamar's song "Mother I Sober." Thank you. I appreciate that. And the chorus of "Mother I Sober" is, "I wish I was somebody, anybody but myself." And I started thinking, I felt that way for a large portion of my life, where I felt like I didn't fit in, I felt like I didn't belong, I'm questioning my identity, questioning myself, my sense of self, and having my sense of self questioned by other people, from all different aspects, which, if you rewatch the VOD, like, I go into more detail about how that happened and how that manifested. So I think this new exhibition that I've got cooking in my head is going to kind of explore that. And I think it's going to be another multimedia project in that the current show, The Quiet Part Out Loud, there's acrylic paintings, there's oil paintings, there's charcoal drawings. This show is going to have paintings and drawings as well, but I might branch out and like actually stage some photos and work from those photos that I take myself, but like actually like get people, like friends, to actually like work off of. I think that would be really cool. And one of the concepts that I had that I was talking about earlier is like having a picture of, like, say, like a group of people. Oh, I'm dropping frames. Hold on. Having like a group of people like here, like this is me and my siblings, right? But like my siblings here, having them fully rendered, and I stay blurred out, right? And different distortions like that, or like just having the figures that feel like out of place, actually like physically out of place within the piece. You know, and then I thought about maybe doing like a multimedia project of uh, like having like a video with like a voiceover that talks about the concept, you know, and like going over like different times in my life that I felt like out of place in kind of like a poetic way, or like maybe like having a audio of like other people talking about how they felt out of place, you know, um, which that'll involve like waivers and all that kind of stuff, so that you know they're okay with having their stuff like broadcast to everyone. But yeah, I think that would be cool too. Um, so this idea is in its infancy. Um, like I said, once we get back from Panama, like I'm gonna. That's another week and a half that I have to flesh this all out. There's no timetable for fleshing this all out. It's just an idea that's in my head, so I want to get all the ideas down on paper on my notes. You know, so that I don't forget any of them. And this stream is kind of a way to do that. And when we come back, I'll stream this like talking about this concept again, but even more so. So yeah. But with that, I want to thank you all for coming in. Sorry that Raven, you came in toward the end of the stream, but we are going to go. It's a little more heavy in terms of the horror than Cult of the Lamb, uh, at least as far as I've seen. But we're gonna go raid friend of the channel, kind of cute Reezy, who is playing Alan Wake right now. Also, it's fun because I never really get a chance to raid Reezy. So, but yeah, thank you all for coming in. Golden Lover, thank you again for the follow. Raven, thank you again for the raid. Thank you, Angel. Thank you for the well wishes and the safe travels. Yeah, so we'll see you all. We get back from Panama, my fiance and I, on the 21st. So that week we'll be going back to like Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday streams. So yeah, we're gonna go say hi to Reezy. And in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. I hope you all have a wonderful restful rest of your weekend. And yeah, we'll see you when I get back. Okay, what goodbye stream do I want? Oh, thank you. Yes. Yeah, we got engaged a couple of weeks ago. So yeah. All right. With that, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we'll catch you on the flip side. All right. Bye, everybody. And thank you for the congrats, Chitanda and Squid. All right, we're about to raid out, so bye, everybody. We'll catch you when we get back.